I just want to say to everybody who's watching now, today is the Lunar New Year. Tonight is Rosh Chodesh. It's Rosh Chodesh shevat. And 2 weeks from tonight in the Hebrew calendar, it will be Tu B'Shvat, the 15th of Shvat, or the middle of the month when there's a full moon. And it's notable that date because it's looked at as the Jewish Arbor Day. Now, I know with so much cold weather and snow and ice, it's hard to think about the spring being right around the corner. Even in Israel, they've had a harsher winter than most. They've been getting a lot of rain. They've been getting some sleet. But the idea was, according to the ancient rabbis, Tu B'Shvat would be the time when the worst winter rains would have passed and the almond would start to appear. That was one of the first nuts to sort of blossom at the midway point of the winter, and it was an indicator that spring couldn't be far behind. For economic and fiscal purposes, it also marked a tax day. An ancient rabbi, Shammai, who lived roughly 2,000 years ago, felt that anything that sprouted prior to the first of Shvat, which would be tonight, the Israelites, your average Judean farmer, would have to pay a tax for as part of the crops, part of the fruits that came forward. It would have to be brought to the temple. But Hillel marked that the 15th of Shvat, midway through the month, 2 weeks later, that would be the demarcation time. Kind of like today we keep April 15th as tax day and not April 1st. The idea being that there was an extra 2 weeks for produce to sort of start to grow, for fruit to start to ripen and slowly appear. Anything that would ripen after that point then would be accrued and would be considered for next year's yield when paying the tax to the temple. Hillel looking to be a little bit more generous or compassionate to the farmers and giving them more time for the first crops to sort of ripen and appear. I think about this time, how it relates to us, because we're hearing reports of the hostages coming home. 4 beautiful soldiers came forth on Shabbat, and tomorrow 3 more hostages are supposed to be released. And we hope and pray that as many come home as possible in the next few weeks. There are 25 that are meant to be alive, 7 of whom, of course, have already been released. But there's much, much more work to be done. And there's a second stage that is meant to take part after this 42-day period where more hostages. These are men all between the ages of 18 and 50 who should be released by Hamas. Of course, we're still waiting to hear on the Bibas family and their beautiful children who should have been released back in November of 2024 during the first ceasefire. These are our fruits, right? These represent our future. And we hope and pray that they come home and have time to heal, to be reunited with their family, and to be part of the Jewish people and the nation of Israel once again. Shabbat Shalom. Winter will not last forever. And let's always pray for our country, for our nation, and for our hostages. Chodesh Tov.